So this is Saturday the 17th of November and I'm meeting with my good friend K Ba Thaung in the Sedona Hotel in Yangon. We spoke, Kenneth, a month or so ago about your life, and I thought there's lots of other bits of your life that I think would be interesting for people to hear. So one area I thought, just if you talked about, your life as a soldier, as it were, during the time of Ne Win, like what was he like and how did you interact with him?
Yes. It's a very colorful, I will not use the word life, you see, but the way in which I think I will have to be, I'll have to explain to you a little bit about Ne Win himself. You see, Ne Win, he belonged to the 30 comrades, and I got into contact with him when I joined the army. He somehow liked me, and he sort of did give me so many facilities. Facilities in a sense mean because he was a dictator king. So when a dictator king gives you, his blessing, then, the people around you start adoring you. And that's how, though, of course, you see, I used to do my work and I used to really sort of, work hard and sincerely, seriously, with discipline. But, and another thing is because I worked hard and sincerely and cleanly, whatever I touched, was successful.
But it must create jealousy as well as adoring.
Oh yeah, jealousy was there because, Ne Win, he liked me because, you see, my command of English was good. His command of English was not very good, though, of course, he was an educated person. He was a personal friend of my uncle. My uncle was Dr. Om Prakash. Dr. Om Prakash and General Ne Win, they studied in the Rangoon University together, and they were together in the same class, and they studied chemistry together. So as far as knowledge is concerned, general knowledge, and English is concerned, Ne Win's English is not bad, but because he never got the chance to speak like how I did it with my family, in my family. So he relied a lot on me.
Did he understand international affairs very well, or was he?
Yes, he did sort of understand, but I became a sort of walking dictionary. I became like not a walking encyclopedia, but a dictionary, because I love to read and educate myself. And whenever you see he used to discuss anything, he always used to bring me into the group, and he wanted to hear my views, as to what I have to say about it.
So you were what? What age were you, and what age was he at that time?
I was not even 30.
Right.
I was not even 30.
And how old would he have been at that time? How old would he have been at that time?
What? 50?
50, okay.
50. Yes, about 50.
And you know how you mentioned when we first spoke that, your ethnicity was Indian Buddhist.
Yes.
Was that any disadvantage, having the Indian ancestry, as it were, vis-a-vis?
I think, that Indian ancestry was something that was not very much liked by some of the other staff. Other staff in the sense, many people who were, trying to sort of fraternize with Ne Win or get close to him. They did not sort of like me very much because I had this Indian background. And
Did they try and use that against you?
I think they did, in the last stage when I was removed, when I was sort of removed without any fault of mine. I think I did mention I was at the time head of the
Well, fisheries.
Berlin fishery, and we bought vessels from South Korea, from the Hyundai, and to make the payment, you see, since it was the Asian Development Bank loan, we signed the contract in U.S. dollars, and also as an equivalent, we had to show the Korean won, which is of course a routine. Since we are buying from South Korea, we show the American dollar because the payment will be made in American dollar. The loan is in American dollar, and the equivalent is won. But what happened? The won got sort of demonetized. It was 761 to a dollar. From 761 to a dollar, it became 960 something like that, won to a dollar. And so I asked the World Asian Development Bank people, I phoned them up because I was very close with them. I used to work very hard. They respect me. Even now, they know me. My name is still known there to them because I am the one who set up the fisheries in this country.
Yeah.
And they are the one who gave me the loan because of what I had done for the fisheries. And when I sort of explained to them that the Korean won has been demonetized, what do I do about it? They said, you see, the loan is in US dollars. The payment will be made in US dollars. That is an internal matters of there.
Yeah.
The
Koreans.
The rate of change, demonetize the rate of currency. It is the internal personal matter. It's got nothing to do with you.
Correct.
You continue with the purchase of the
US dollars.
vessels.
Yeah.
So what I did, I passed an order, please sign the contract. And because I wrote that, they said, you see, I must have made, the difference.
On the difference, yeah.
The 760 and the 960, the 200 won per dollar, it must have gone into my... I mean, this is the type of argument that they used. And they used it, and Newin, I do not know why he sort of, after being so close to me, I do not know why he accepted that argument. But he did tell them that, if Kenneth is at fault, we will take action against him. Otherwise, you will have to bear the blame and you will be punished. He's telling the MI people. So
military intelligence.
So military intelligence, because thing is that, you see, a dictator needs, a power, a dictator can wield power through henchmen. And who are the henchmen? These, KGB and MIS and all.
But do you think it was just used as a reason, like it was, we call it drumped up charges. So, I mean, it was not true, but was that because of jealousy? Was that...
the thing is that, you see, the biggest problem was, Peter, old man, he depended upon me. In fact, in the cabinet, in the meeting, in the parliament meeting, in the big hall, he mentioned openly in front of all the member of parliament and all. What he said is that, if I had another person like K Ba Thaung, I will not need any one of y'all. This is exactly the words he used. And I myself, I had goose flesh. I was scared. Because I could see, everyone looking with daggers drawn.
Absolutely.
They looked at me, he said, if I had another K Ba Thaung, I will not need the services of any one of you. Because every small thing he used to
But
contact
don't
me.
you think that you don't think he did that deliberately? You didn't think about what would happen? The consequences of that must be.
Thing is that you see all his personal. For example, you see when I used to sort of because when he used to go to send away, um, we have a rest house there. He has a rest house there, and whenever he goes there, I used to accompany him. Though I'm not military intelligence, but I was sort of more than military intelligence in the sense uh, he relied a lot upon me for personal things, his family, his personal. And in fact, some of the things that he told me, I myself, you see, I do not know what to do with it. He told me in his own words that he disliked Aung San. He did not like him at all. And he tried to sort of play hell into him. I mean, these are his own words. And there were only two of us. We are walking on the beach and sent away. And he says, I really played hell into him. And the things that I know, I mean, what he was talking about is, for example, uh, being one of the 30 comrades, Aung San, I know he was a disciplinarian. He didn't sort of talk much. But you see,
What was the difference between Aung San? What rank was he, and what rank was?
Aung San was the leader of the group.
And what was he? A military? He wasn't military.
Military.
So what was he? A brigadier or colonel at that time when he was killed?
Oh, then,
Roughly.
you see, because the thing is that he went there, to Tokyo, to Japan.
Yeah.
He went there to Japan to study military strategy
During the Second World War.
before the second. Yes.
But was he the same? Was he younger or older than they win?
No. He, age-wise, I think they were more or less the same age, but rank-wise, Nawin was junior.
Really?
Yeah. Rank-wise, Nawin was junior because they went there to Japan as military students.
Right. Together. So they knew each other very well.
They knew each other very well, but Aung San did not like him because he was naughty and dirty in his, outlook. What I'm saying is libido, sex, this and all those things, drinking, gambling. He's famous. He was famous for that. And Aung San did not like it. And he's famous for going after girls, And in fact, because Nawin did not tell me, but there was a man by the name, again, you see, his name is Ting U, one of his personal staff. And Nawin was asked by Aung San, because Aung San was in love with Aung San Suu Kyi's mother. Her name is Do Khen Chi. And Do Khen Chi, at that time, she was a nurse in, I'm not talking about Tokyo, I'm talking about in Rangoon, you see. She was a nurse in Rangoon General Hospital. And so Nawin had an eye on her. Now, that much we know. After that, the things that Teu, his man, you see, who used to take care of him, like a Batman. You see, he told me that, once Aung San gave some money to Nawin to buy a ring because he wanted to propose to Do Khen Chi. And so so when Nawin came to know about it, he took the money from Teng U. And then, he gambled with it because Teng U had the habit also of drinking, gambling and all. So he gambled and all, and the money was wasted. And So like that, you see. I mean, this is the way he kept on trying to sort of, put bricks in the good way of Aung San. So, so then you see later on, this thing, he made him the Director General of the Burma Broadcasting Service. I mean, he is not an educated person, but by virtue of the fact that he served good service to Ne Win, you see, he was made Director General of Burma Broadcasting Service. You see, that is which is a very important sort of service in the government.
Sure.
So, and then because there are many other things, you see, which we know, because the director of the information service, which is in control of the Burma Broadcasting Service, the director was U Ken. U Ken is very close to my wife and very close to me. And I learned a lot about Ting U, you see, telling U Ken about what he did for Ne Win to harass, trouble Aung San. And in fact, you see, according to what we know, I will not use the word know, but I mean, these are rumors, is that the person who shot Uso, was one of his known people. Ne Win's known people. Because the thing is that, you see, they did not want Aung San, because Galong Uso, he was a very powerful man at the time, politician. And now, in those days, of course, politics was still very much rife, not the military dictatorship. And so he wanted Galong Uso to become anti-Aung San. So it was one of his men who fired a bullet into the window of Aung San's car while he was driving on Sule Pagoda Road. And he went to he was admitted to the hospital.
Aung San.
Not Aung San, Galong Uso. Galong Uso. Before anybody could reach him there, the first person to go and see him was Ne Win. And he went there, and because the thing is that only an army person can wield a gun. Only an army person can sort of, because the car that was following his car was a jeep, and it looked like an army jeep. So the only army had those facilities. So it is only an army person who can do it.
Inside job.
Inside job. So he went there and told Galong Uso. Why I believe it is, I'll tell you, you see. He said, Akoyi, elder brother, with folded hand, Ne Win told Uso in the Rangoon General Hospital, it is not my man, it is not me who did this. If it is not him, then who can it be? You can imagine. He wanted to put the blame on Aung San. And the blame did go to Aung San. Because the thing is that very soon afterwards, you see, Galong Uso arranged the assassination of the 19th of July, the assassination of Aung San and his clique, the whole cabinet. Razak and all of them, you see, they got sort of wiped out in that. And, when I became, sort of responsible officer in his government, Ne Win's government, I was given special instruction. Now, please note it. I was given special instruction to take special care of Galong Uso's children. Because Galong Uso was hanged. He was found guilty, he was hanged, The judge, lawyers came from UK to sort of, to
Defend him.
yes, and then he was found guilty and he was hanged. After he was hanged, you see, Newin told me to take good care of Aung Uso's, Galong Uso's children, and I took good care of them. I took good care of Baby Saw. Baby Saw is Galong Uso's daughter, and who lives on 80 Road itself. They live very close to where Newin was living.
So why was he hung? Was he hung for being...
For the assassination of Aung San.
Right.
He was hanged because, he was the one who, conspired and sort of, he was the brain behind the...
But he wasn't the one that actually pulled the
No,
trigger.
he did not pull the trigger, but it was his group of boys, his group of men.
And is that fact?
It was proved.
Right.
It was proved.
So
And-
he was guilty.
Well,
He was guilty of...
he was guilty. He was in, and he was hanged in insane jail.
Right. So who was it that was shot and he went to see in hospital? That Newin went to see?
Galong Uso.
Same person.
Galong Uso is a person who was shot by a military car following him,
Right.
and after that, so if a military car is following and shooting,
Yeah.
so what will the man who is shot at think? He'll think that the military is shooting him. The military. So who's the military? Newin is the military. Because Newin at that time, you see, was in charge of the military.
So then he reacted and...
And then, before he could react, you see, Newin was the person who went to him
Oh,
and
so it
with
wasn't
folded
me.
hands told him that it is not me.
It was Aung San.
That, of course, he left it
Open.
open.
Okay.
I mean, he indicated that it was him.
Right. So that means... So after that, he then tried to kill, or did kill...
Oh, he did, yes.
Kill Aung San and
Yes,
the others.
they killed him in the secretariat. You see,
Yes.
I had my office there also later afterwards, you see. Even now, they have the room where they were shot. So he was the same. And then I had to take care
Of the children.
of the children. So that sort of, you see, gives me some sort of, not proof, I will not use the word proof, but, that, yes, I think the old man was involved.
So do you think, was he a ruthless man? Was he cruel? Was he...
He was cruel. He was cruel. He was cruel, and he was very selfish, very cruel. He was Casanova. He loved women. He loved sex. And, because before Teu, the henchman, who became his right-hand man, the man before him was Maung Lwin, the mustachio Maung Lwin. Mustachio Maung Lwin was known as Nakhamui Maung Lwin. Nakhamui is mustache and Maung Lwin. He was the intelligence colonel of intelligence. And I was friendly with him also because I was friendly with Newin, or rather Newin was friendly with me. And so Maung Lwin also was, and Maung Lwin also used to tell me, you see, when how they had good time with women in UK, how they had good time with women there, like that, you see. Because for them, you see, having fun with women was the most common natural thing. Whereas, you see, we were feeling funny. There's such a thing, happening, and they are supposed to be our leaders.
So when you said he was cruel, did he put a lot of people in prison?
Oh, yes. Not only that, you see, in fact, a lot of them were, because, we had 2 or 3 prisons. You see, the civil prison, this became useful later on. But before that, you see, we had in Mingladon military prison, where you see routine uh, examination and execution were a routine. And I'm sure you see, if one of these days the bulldozers they want to dig into the soil, they'll find hundreds and hundreds of skeletons there. And I know about it because I had my office also not very far away from there.
So it was summary executions? It
Well,
was summary execution?
No, execution in a sense means there are so many ways in which execution was carried out, you see. All, was needed was just a shake off the head, get rid of him, that's all. And they got rid of him.
So wasn't that scary to work for a man?
Oh, yes, absolutely. That's why, you see, thing is that's what I've been telling you, Peter, Thing is that they get their power, energy through the henchmen. Henchmen are the killers. So they have to listen to the henchmen also. If the henchmen want something, tell them something, they always have an open ear for them. That's how, you see, for no rhyme or reason, I was put into, I was removed from my service.
So what would have happened, because you did a successful job in pearl and fisheries, right? So you
Yeah.
did a very successful job there.
Yes,
You had taken off your uniform at this stage?
I was told,
Your
yes.
highest rank was
Yes,
Lieutenant Colonel.
yes. The thing is that, you see, it was Major Acting Lieutenant Colonel.
Right.
Major is the substantive, they called it substantive rank.
Yeah.
Up to Colonel, you see, Major is the substantive rank.
Right.
You see, the gazetted.
Right.
So,
But
I
you were
was,
acting Lieutenant Colonel.
yes. So,
What would your career, if what happened to you with being sent to Moscow or Insan prison, if you had stayed, would you have stayed in fisheries, or would he have had another job for you to do?
I want to tell you that, you see.
Yeah.
I want to tell you that. You see, my good friend Newin had, in fact, discussed this with Sein Win, Brigadier Sein Win, and also the Prime Minister Mamon Ka. Prime Minister Mamon Ka and Brigadier Sein Win, they were very close, people in the hierarchy, and they're good people also, because Mamon Ka is an engineer, he knows me, I'm an engineer also. So, and Sein Win, of course, very close. So, he had proposed to Mamon Ka that I would like to employ K Ba Thaung as NIB chief,
What's NIB?
National Intelligence Bureau chief. That was me. And if I would have become National Intelligence Bureau chief, the dirty people in the intelligence, they all would have been, they would have been in trouble. And that's the reason, you see, why, General Aung always used to tell me, Kenneth, if old man tells you anything, please come and tell me, because I have a greater responsibility to take care of his life. But no, they were all dirty crooks, they were enjoying life at the expense of the old man's name and power.
So people were threatened by you possibly taking that role?
I think, they were rather insecure that this role might be given to me. You see, Ule Maung, he was the National Intelligence Bureau chief. And Ule Maung is a very good friend of mine. And when I came out of the jail when I came out of the insane jail after being sort of wrongly incarcerated, who was the first man to come and talk to me? It was the NIB chief, Ule Maung. And what he said? He said, Kenneth, with folded hands, with folded hands, he tells me, Kenneth, I was not part of the group of people who tried to play dirty with you. These are his very words.
And you believe him?
Yes. Yes. Ule Maung, you see, he's a God-fearing person. He's not a dirty man. I've been very close to his family also.
But isn't it surprising, while you were there, didn't it make you think why your friend or why Ne Win didn't move quicker?
Yeah. Because the thing is that I think I was somehow the other, Peter, I could understand every women fancy of his. I could sort of sense women, thing is that he wanted his children to be looked after. He wanted his children to learn good English. He wanted someone to guide them instead of becoming dacoits. To become someone, yes.
Gangsters or...
So that's what I did.
That's after you came out?
No, before.
Okay, but then why didn't he...
He did sort of. He asked me. Because that time, you see, he had already retired himself. So-called retirement, though of course he was holding the power. Because he was holding the power, he asked me, Kenneth, what would you like to do?
That's after you came out?
And after I came out.
Yeah.
But before that, you see, I did everything what he told me, and he did everything that I told him.
Yeah, but are you surprised that he let you languish 7 years in jail?
Yeah, because thing is that I do not know. But again, you see, my mind tells me that, a dictator, a henchman is a very important tool for the... Because thing is that, you see, and this is the biggest henchman. General Aung himself is telling the old man that, Kenneth has sort of... I've done nothing out of the way, but, I have sort of, made money. Now, he said, examine. If Kenneth is at fault, punish him, otherwise you will be. And do you know, Peter, I was only taken out to the court and a new date was given. I was never the same. Because Henry Mamauji, he was my lawyer.
Yeah.
Henry Mamauji was my lawyer and said, Kenneth, there's nothing against you. And he kept on harping, examine the case. They did not examine the case. They just used to bring me out and they used to sort of, the judge used to give, another date. Like that, every 15 days or every 1 month.
But how did you feel with these delays?
Well, so what I did, you see, I, with the help of the doctors in the jail, I got admitted to the Rangoon General Hospital. I was there.
For how long?
For nearly 3 years. It's a guard ward, you see, it's a place there where, prisoners and all those, convicts or whatever are treated or taken care of. I was there. I was given a special room and all. I was looked after there very nicely. At least I could meet my family once a day. So these were the things,
But you were 4 years still in jail, weren't you? 4 years.
4 years, exactly.
The last 3 years.
Exactly. 3 years I spent here. Then for the 4 years, you see, I was struggling in the jail.
That's the first 4 years.
First 4 years.
Yeah. And no resentment, right?
I came into contact with lots of monks. Innocent, well-to-do monks who had reached a certain stage in life, which I myself am very much surprised to see how did they ever, have to suffer these ordeals. And they preached me, they took care of me, they made me the disciple. It was this Buddhist, meditation, vipassana. which sort of opened up my eyes that, you see, I am on the wrong track. I was on the wrong track, you see, because thing is that then I started thinking, oh my God, for example, I mean, these are some of the thoughts that came into my mind, you see. For example, you see, when I became the chairman of the zoo, you see, Colonel Smythe, I'm sorry, General Colonel Laong, he's an Anglo officer, a very good officer. He was the head of the survey department, but he joined the army and he became a colonel. So he was in charge of the zoo. But something happened in the zoo, and I was made the chairman of the zoo. And that was
While you were what? While you were the fisheries?
I was in the fisheries and also the salt industries
And chairman of the zoo,
and chairman of
which
the
is part-time job.
But chairman of the zoo is not part-time job, you see. But the only thing is that I don't sit in the zoo, though I have my office there. Even now, the office is there. You know, last year, they had this annual zoo, this thing, and I was invited. I went there. I was the only one there. And now they have sold the zoo.
Oh, really?
They sold the zoo to a private. That's what the military is doing. They've sold the zoo,
the land.
the land and the animals, everything.
What, to make condominiums?
No, they are not making condominiums. They actually wanted to make condominiums and all, but I believe the population, they objected to it, and the zoo is still there.
Right. Well, I've seen
They
that.
shifted part of the zoo to Naypyidaw. The white elephants and all, they have already been taken to Naypyidaw. So what happened is, I'll tell you, you see, you might remember that Mr. Pol Pot,
The Khmer Rouge.
Pol Pot is Cambodian.
Yeah, Khmer Rouge.
So he invited Ne Win. And look, you see, Ne Win said, would you like to come? I said, no. He said, okay, it's all right. So he went, and Pol Pot offered him 3 crocodiles as present. 3 crocodiles, the type of which we don't have in Burma. Living crocodile, 3 of them. So as soon as he arrived, he called me home. He said, Kenneth, I've got some work for you. I said, sir, tell me what? He said, I've got 3 crocodiles, from Pol Pot. I said, what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to take care of them. So now, I am the chairman of the zoo. I do have a small pond where I can keep, but these crocodiles are ferocious. They're very dangerous crocodiles. They'll kill everything in that vicinity. So he said, do something. So you will be surprised that within 3 months, I made a crocodile farm in Taketa. It is still there. It is flourishing, still there. In Taketa, I made a farm, crocodile farm, because you see, to keep these crocodiles and also other crocodiles, you see. And I'll tell you why crocodiles. I'll tell you that. This is very interesting. These are some of the thoughts that came into my mind when I was in the lockup, in the jail. So, okay, because I, as Pearl Fishery, I had the shrimp research culture in Taketa. I had piece of land next to the Taketa River. And so I had a big place where I could breed I made, ponds and this and that to have separate ponds for separate types of crocodile. Now, The reason why this thought came to me because, do you know the crocodiles, they have two penises? They are multi, organs. And do you know that the the sperm of the crocodile, the he crocodile, is very, very, what do you call it? It has virility, or things that if they do make injections out of it, and if you can get that injection, you will have a erection, a very long erection or whatever. And old man was very keen. Old man was very keen on, So what I had to do is, I had to get a male crocodile almost every month. And Dr. Kukuji, he was the professor of zoology in the University of Rangoon. And he was asked to kill that crocodile. Now this is all happening in the White House, and I'm supervising it. It is happening in the White House.
The White House is what? The home of... The White House is what?
Watch the killing of the crocodile.
What's the White House?
White House, in Ne Win's house.
It's called the White House.
Well, I'm just sort of, calling it the White House because it was happening there inside, you see. We killed the crocodile there.
Taken to his house and killed at his house?
They're taking the crocodile on a pickup truck.
Yeah.
And, all tied up and all. And then killing the crocodile there. And then there was this Austrian, I think, doctor. Austrian doctor. I think his name is Rodriguez. He's very close to Mr. Zaltzman. He is the one, you see, who has been sort of, giving, erectile dysfunction treatment, you see, to the old man. I'll come to that, you see. So, he is the one who... So what I did is, you see, I just provided the crocodile. Dr. Kokuji, he killed them, and this doctor, he operated upon the gonads on the
crocodile
and took out the sperm. And I did not know the crocodile had two penises. This was the first time I'm seeing it. And this thing was given to me wrapped up in ice, and I had to sort of send it to my cold storage, put it in carbon ice, and send it to Austria. There you see this doctor who had operated, he's the one who supervised and arranged in making it into an injection. And that injection used to come for our Win.
Did it work, I wonder?
I do not know. But I did provide, you see, 2 or 3 crocodiles. I know that. Okay. And it was this doctor who became very friendly with me also. He came to the zoo, visited me many times, and I did also come to, because he could see that, you see, I was so close to Ne Win. He did not tell me about the whalebone, because it was Ne Win himself. He told me that, Kenneth, this is what he told me when we were walking on the beach in Sadaway, Ngapali. He said, Kenneth, I will die, but my cock will never die. My cock will never die. I said, why, sir? He said, look, I'll explain to you. Then he explained to me. He lifted up his logie. And showed me his penis. And there, you see, it was still a little bit wiggled up, but it was like this bent, and there was something inserted under the skin that
You said it actually wasn't a bone; it was like a cartilage or something. Is that right?
cartilage.
It wasn't a bone.
Bone, yes. Yeah, yes. It's not a bone like how we have
Fish. Yeah.
fish bone or man, the bone of the cartilage. The cartilage, the wheel, it is soft.
Right.
Not very soft also, but it is pliable.
Right.
So he has that inserted there, so that you see, though he may not have an erection, he can still have an insertion. He can still, insert his penis into, whatever he wants to do. I mean, these are the things, I said, Kenneth, you are such a highly educated person, and you are doing this. So that's why, you see, when he said, what do you want? In fact, their children, his children, they were all for me. They said, say what you want. I said, I don't want anything. I said, let me be at peace. And then, I was looked after, taken care of in the sense I was sort of like a VIP. Even when I was with you in Myanmar, I still had the protection of the MIS and the BSI. They were taking care of me from 50 yards away from my house.
So what are those things? BSI is what?
Burma Bureau of Special Investigation.
And the other one was the
MIS, Military Intelligence Service. And all of them, you see, they are not under, but they are in NIB, National Intelligence Bureau, which the old man wanted me to be head of.
So they were there. I mean, you weren't really at risk of anyone doing anything to you, though, were you? You didn't really need this security.
No, I did not. But thing is that I have some psychological sort of training, you see. I have psychological training with the Indian Army. You see, the Indian Army, in Bangalore, near Bangalore, there's a staff college that is known as Wellington Staff College. And there you see, all the strategic matters and how to oversee and how to sort of control intelligence, things, you see, information that we get, you see. We were taught there. I was there for more than 6 months. So, after all, it's nothing but analysis.
But so that was his thank you. That was his thank you. Nawin's thank you was giving you protection.
Well, not only protection. In fact, they didn't allow me to leave, but the passport for my children, for my family, they were delivered to my house.
Why weren't you allowed to leave?
Because I knew such a lot about Nawin. I knew about his liquidity roots, how the liquidity was. I will not use the word formed. Well, to an extent, yes. You see, where it started, how it started. I knew such a lot about it. In fact, when I was in the Ministry of Planning and Finance in 1958, during the caretaker government regime, I think I did tell you about it. It was my signature only that allowed any technical equipment, machine, or anything to be brought into the country. And that had to be paid in foreign exchange.
Yes.
And that was only done under my signature. So I signed $1,000, they make it 10,000. I don't check it. I don't have the power to check it, but I know it. Because there was one Brigadier Tempeh, you must have heard of him. Brigadier Tempeh is dead and gone. And he told me that, Kenneth, the figures that you sign may not be,
Final figures.
may not tally with what the Union Bank has. So then he explained to me why. And that's where it used to go. And that's where, you see, we had this, Swiss friends, Zaltzman and all, who were very friendly with me. So if I would have been allowed to go out immediately, I could have sort of divulged to the world. I could have. I did not. I just forget it.
Whereas if you revealed it in Myanmar, you'd be back in insane prison or shot.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. So when you did leave, was Ne Win still alive?
Oh, yes, yes.
So eventually,
Yes.
he still could have stopped you leaving.
But thing is that after 4 years, the thing is that we were in contact every year. He used to invite his daughter. She loves me, His son-in-law, they, like me. All his children now, the one who is in Moscow, Pure Win. Even now, today also I got a Facebook from him, asking me about my health. He does not know I'm in Burma, but he is in Burma and he's inquiring, how is my health?
Even Tain Tun didn't know you were in Burma.
No one knows. I don't go anywhere. The reason I don't go anywhere is, because now Aung San Suu Kyi group, they are my people. Because I don't know the new one, but they know me. And I don't want to come into the limelight and say anything. Because I know the things that, for example, you see, if they want the country to develop, they'll have to take care of the grassroots. The peasants. What security does the peasants have in this country? Nothing.
Yeah.
What security, social security or whatever the laborers, the workers have in this country? Not even hand to mouth. They do not know where the hand is, and the mouth is, of course, getting further and further away.
Great expression. Yeah.
So, thing is that, you see, we have to start from, if they want to get rid of this insurgency, they have to start with the peasants. The peasants now, you see, they own land, but they can't work it. The people who are, making money out of it, is they are living in the city.
Yeah.
But the peasants, they're poor chap, living on that,
Just before you go on with that, just go back to Ne Win for a second. He was a very superstitious man, right?
Who? Ne Win?
Ne Win.
Oh, of course, yes.
So he used fortune tellers.
Oh, yes. I used to take care of them.
So like his currency 6 and 9 and
Oh, yes.
So
you see, the
did
thing
he
is
really-
that, there's guy in the son of a, Seng Win, he became the president. Seng Win, he became the president. In 1988 or something like that, you might remember, you might know that he was previously the Home Minister. But before he became Home Minister, I think you remember the jeep that fired some rounds into Uso, Galau Uso. I think I told you about it.
You mentioned that earlier today.
He's the one. And he became president. And he's got no brains. This is what has happened. I mean, and he's
But Ne Win wasn't
a
responsible for
superstitious Beg one?
Ne Win wasn't responsible for him becoming president, was he?
Ne Win was the one who made him president.
Oh, okay.
You see, because he protected Ne Win with his life. No brains, nothing, but very honest to Ne Win. And
But did you ever see Ne Win make decisions based on astrology and
absolutely, absolutely.
like what sort of things would he?
The day, the time of doing a thing, like that, you see. For example, it's danger to his life. So, they see blood bath. So what he does is he lives the blood bath by killing buffaloes, getting the blood of buffaloes, and taking a bath with the blood. I've seen the blood with my own eyes. I didn't see him taking a bath, but I saw the blood.
So this is to have blood on you to avoid.
Yes. That will sort of, take care of the wives, the negative wives.
So some fortune teller would tell him, you better be careful. You could be assassinated. So you better get.
No, thing is that you see, this is bloodbath. Because thing is that you see, before you get assassinated, if you take that, you're protecting yourself.
Right.
This is it. Because I remember, I think is that guy, the famous astrologer. I was made to, get for him because he wanted to open up a shop and sell salt, and he couldn't get salt anywhere. So I was told help him. So I gave him salt. He opened the shop. Say myai, Sia, say myai. Oh my God. The old man will fart according to his
He's the most influential.
Astrologer. Later on, not before. Later on, he became more the same.
Do you pay your astrologer? Is that what Ne Win would do?
Pay in the sense, you see, he will not sort of, pay him in cash and all, but, he was taken care of. For example, I had to open for him a salt shop.
Right.
I didn't take a single penny.
Yeah. And what about the currency? Were you around when he changed the currency?
Currency, yes. These are, in the currency changing portion is very much, it is related not to Saint Yang, it is related to the President Saint Win. Because he is the one who used to sort of do alchemy. And there is another type of astrology. And it is he.
Oh, he was responsible for currency.
45, 50, 75, 100, and like that. Because the thing is that you say it has to come to 9. Because they look at the planets in the different houses. So which planet is ruling, like that, you see. So to satisfy that planet, we need to have these numbers more. That's what they used to do.
So 45 and 9.
90. Yeah.
No 100, no 10.
No zeros.
Yeah, no zeros. Very confusing for people like me.
I know about it, but it has no meaning at all.
And did he change the driving of the left hand to the right hand? Was that Ne Win?
Big one?
You used to drive on the left hand side, and then one day it changed to the right.
No, that is his wife. The wife. Thing is that she went. Where did she go to? I think she.
So you were just saying that the person who really made the decision to switch from driving on the left to driving on the right was not Ne Win, but his wife. What happened there?
because thing is that Newin was a whimsical person. Had a women fancy, he could do anything. So she went for medical checkup or something like that, When she came back, she happened to tell. You see, the things that are happening, the things that have happened, because Newin's daughter, Lieutenant Colonel Ken San Win, doctor, a very nice doctor. She was very close to me. She was the princess of the family. And that's the reason there was a lot of tug of war going on in the family itself. No woman could rule that roost. And so, but she was very close to the mother. Very close to the mother. So when the mother came back, and so they were, and I used to be there most of the time. Once a week at least I used to be there. So she, according to my information, she told that, what is this, in that country they have right hand, this country they have left hand, this, that, and it's such a hustle, tussle, looking to the right and looking to the left. I said, why can't they have the same thing over here? And Newman at that time, he was in a mood. He said, yes. He lifted up the phone, and I think the police, the same guy, he told the police guy, he did not tell the home minister, he told the police guy, arrange to get everything done the American way or something like that.
Yeah.
So next day, we had instruction.
Everyone, one day.
Yeah, just like
one day
that.
To the next.
And all the police were there on the lane telling us to go to the right. That's all. And then it became right.
Extraordinary.
Terrible, terrible. There's no system. There's no system. For example, you see, talking about that princess, June Rose Bellamy, her name is Yadrina Namme. She was my classmate. I can say I was her classmate because it was the, St. Michael's, it was in Myanmar. She was, and our headmistress was Mrs. Wiltshire. And, and she, I knew her, we knew each other. We became friendly because we were schoolmates. But, she was on a different level. She believed her father was an Australian, a very good gentleman by the name of Mr. Bellamy. I knew him personally. Her mother was a princess.
What, a Shan princess?
No, Burmese. Burmese
Right,
prince.
back from,
Mindon's daughter, yeah.
Okay.
So she was a very nice lady. And because you see...
Sorry, one of Mindon had like hundreds of children, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, of course. It was, they had a harem.
Yeah.
Harem.
But she was a genuine daughter of
Yes.
Mindon, yeah.
Yes. And then so she used to party, we were there, we never had any thought of partying or anything, but she was quite pretty looking also and well built and all. And it was Newin's PA, whose name is Teu. You see, I do not know why, but he has been very, very attached to the name because most of the big shots in his life who associated with him are Teus. The director of, Burma Broadcasting, that General Teu, then the military chief Teu.
The Tinu from NLD, the general.
General also, that is another Teu. So, and then, Nawin had, that is before I joined him, there was his PA by the name of Teu, he was a captain, and he was in love with June Rose Bellamy. But when he came to know that, you see, June Rose Bellamy is sort of, having a time at the expense, that's all, nothing more. And the old man himself is very much interested in her. And when the old man is interested, you see, he can contrive so many ways and means to
But
have.
how old would he have been then?
Beg your pardon?
No, Win wouldn't have been a general then, would he?
No. He was Lieutenant General at that time. He was Lieutenant General.
Okay, so his senior. But how old was he? And he's interested in June Rose Bellamy. How old was June Rose Bellamy?
Beg your pardon?
How old was June Rose Bellamy? How old was No Win?
No. Thing is that, you see, he must be about 50, 60 or whatever, you see.
And she's a young girl.
Yeah, young girl, but nicely built and all. And so, but thing is that, Teu was in love with her, and because Teu could not get close to her on account of Nawin, he committed suicide in Mandalay.
Oh my goodness.
So, all right. So anyway, this girl, she studied in Myanmar, and later on, she got married to an Italian count, Italian prince, Italian count. And so that Italian count, by just, good fortune, he was posted to Burma. He got posted to Burma.
As
and when he got
ambassador.
posted,
As ambassador.
No. As WHO or something like that.
Okay.
Some United Nation.
Okay.
And he was, but according to, of course, these are rumors, but again, as you know, nothing can happen in this land without the hench, the dictator knowing. He got kidnapped by the insurgents.
The
Italian prince, the Italian count and all, he got kidnapped by the insurgents. And June Rose Bellamy had to run to the old man and beg him to save
her husband.
her husband. And he got it, he did it.
I hope they then left Burma.
Beg your pardon?
I hope they then left Burma.
No, they left Burma. When her husband died,
So they stayed in Burma.
she stayed in Burma, but after the husband was released by the insurgents with the graces of the dictator, they left. They left, you see.
Of course. But she came back after he
But
died.
she came back in the sense means is because her husband died there in Italy. The husband died, and she was without a husband. At that time, old man also was without a wife. Though his wife was around, he had divorced her. Nini Mien, I know that lady. She was a lecturer in the university. And again, you see, the family, in the family, the woman, the daughter, she's the boss. Even now.
You're saying in Burmese families, the woman's the boss?
In Nawin's
No one's family?
family, this daughter.
I think in a lot of families, the woman is actually the boss.
Oh my God. She is really the boss. And she used to come and make use of me also by coming and begging me to do this, to do that, and I helped her.
How did you meet Sonia, your wife?
They know they
How
didn't.
did you meet your wife?
Oh, No, that is very the thing. Because I have a relative, a doctor Saren, lives in 53rd Street in Rangoon, and she was there studying there, and I saw her there, and I told my brother to sort of,
Love at first sight.
in love at first sight, yes, something like that. But it took some time, a few years before, they could say yes and all. But until then, I was a bachelor. So like that, you see.
And what was she doing at the time?
She was studying. She was doing a BSc, Bachelor of Science. She didn't pass.
Didn't finish.
She didn't
What,
pass.
because she got married?
Well, yeah, she got married, yes.
And what was her Burmese name?
Do La Chi.
Dor La Chi.
La Chi. La Chi. She is Monday born. La is Monday. La Chi.
And she came from a doctor's family, is that what you meant? Or she just...
Her father, her father is Burmese.
Right.
And the mother is Dr. Saren's elder sister. So they got Indian and Burmese.
Okay.
Somewhat like me.
Right.
A little bit, yeah.
Okay.
So being of pure breed, you have a status. We were of not pure breed. We were on another status.
I think it's very hard, truthfully, to find a pure Burmese. I think almost all families in Burma that I've met,
Yes.
when you start digging into it, it's all mixed. All mixed.
Yes.
Well, Kenneth, I think we'll stop now because I want to be able to come back another time.
No, of course. You see, the thing is that, Peter, go through it and all, there's such a lot of things still, oh my God, such a lot of things.
I know, but let's do it again.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
We'll do it again.
But I don't know how long this has been, but I mean, it's certainly, I think, nearly 2 hours.
Oh my God, 2 hours.
So,
more than 2 hours.
thank you, Kenneth.
No, it's all right.
Until the next time.
Of course.